You see that, right? All right, so give it a second. We'll jump in about 15, 20 seconds. All right, what's going on, man?
What's going on with your coach? What's happening?
How you doing? How you doing, Josh?
I can't
Man,
complain. How about you?
first let me do all the protocol stuff. First off, welcome to another episode of Outside the X's and O's with Coach Hamilton. Y'all know I'm still getting used to do all that introduction stuff, but hey, we just come in here and be ourselves. You know, for those that's following, of course, y'all notice we've been on Instagram and Facebook and different things lately. But if you can, go to YouTube, click on Eddie J. Hamilton over there, YouTube, try to build that platform. That's the platform we're trying to build from, but we definitely want to have opportunity to continue to get the audience over in Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So, but we're gonna jump right in. Y'all looking at the myth, the legend. Yeah, he's turned into an OG now. Um, we got here airline graduate, Little Rock, Arkansas, born and raised here in the area. Mr. Josh Hagins. So we're
Right.
excited to have him here. So if y'all logged in on Facebook, man, go share this out and see if we can get a couple people to chime in on the conversation tonight. Pretty much we just want to jump into the life of life of pro ball player. I mean, for lack of a better term, man, we got a lot of kids. We got a lot of people who say they want to be a pro athlete, man, and we got a chance to have somebody live and in person, especially for a city like Shreveport, Bossier. We got somebody that's living a life, that's beat the odds, and that's living it, man. So we're gonna jump right into this thing, and we're gonna have us some fun tonight, man. So like I said, Josh,
All right.
again, welcome, 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 welcome. And I'm finna throw you off just a little bit. I'm finna throw some up here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna start right here. This is where I'm gonna start at. This guy right here. This guy right here.
Oh man, big
Yeah.
bro.
What I want to do is right now is I want to start right here at this moment, and I want you to tell people who Josh Hagins is in this moment. We're gonna start here and we're gonna work our way back.
Well, this is kind of where life becomes less about me and more about other people. I think kind of growing up, when you're kind of recognized as a guy, like everything is kind of catered around you. Everything's about you. The team is, well, does Josh Higgins make the team go? Off the court, what type of kid is he? When did he get recruited? But at this point in time, your motives, your your dreams, everything changes in that one moment, man. So when she was born, it becomes about like, okay, how do I make everything easier for her? And
Yeah.
I think at that point in time, like that's where not necessarily I lose the love of the game, right? But um, what I care about and what really matters starts to change a lot more. And so that's what that picture's all about.
Yeah. So, of course, the name of the show is Outside the X's and O's. You know what I'm saying? So, basketball is the easy thing to talk about, but right now, this is the moment that you're living in right now. And
Right.
I remember when she was coming into the world, you and I had a chance to have a couple conversations
Right.
during that time frame. Because I was able to be the coach at your school, being able to see you come in and work out with the guys, and seeing you going and coming home, being home for a little while, shipping out. And I can honestly tell you, man, you aren't the same guy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I mean, I'm telling you, and we're saying that in a good way, because we got a lot of people chasing this game. They're chasing this game, and they have so many different reasons that they're chasing the game. But right now, you're at a moment that the only reason why you're sticking with it is because there's something you're trying to accomplish for her. Am I correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How can
100%.
you dig into it a little bit more with now with you being a father, and you talk about the motive behind playing the game, how what where you are at right now when it comes down to that motive and what gets you up to keep working and training now that you have the role of a father.
Well, for me, man, it's all about just doing everything that my parents did for me. So obviously, very, very elite set of parents that I do have. My mom was outstanding in her field as a military. Obviously, she's a junior ROTC as a teacher. Been doing it 15 plus years on top of 20 years in the military. So, with things that my pops was able to do in the military, as well as working life insurance, man, they made it very easy for me to kind of just chase my dream, not necessarily achieve it, but they made it possible for me to chase it. And so, my motive now is that whatever it is that JC wants to do, I need to be able to allow her to try. You know what I'm saying? I don't really
Okay.
care if she, obviously I want her to make it, but it's not about whether the outcome is there. It's just about her having her own journey, just like I was able to have my own journey.
Right.
So, for me, man, my mom, my pops, I grew up in Arkansas. Like AAU basketball starts for us when we're 6. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it's year round. You know what I'm saying? So they gave up a lot of summers, a lot of weekends. Year after year after year, just to allow me to have fun. Not necessarily just for me to get a scholarship, but just for me to be able to be with my guys and experience that because that's stuff that I needed to get to where I was trying to go. So I just want to be that same type of role model, that same type of parent, and make those same type of sacrifices, man. So that's what it's all about at this stage.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing how you say it. You threw in, and I guess I want to sit right there for a minute. You said your parents were involved in doing what you were doing because it was something fun to do. the,
Yeah.
the conversations about scholarships and pro and all this stuff when you were a little kid was not even a part of the equation. This was you enjoyed playing basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where kind of the difference is. I think a lot of parents like they're looking for like um an outcome for it, and you got to remember today, like obviously, like people want to make it. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah,
we're kids. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you put that pressure on a kid, especially at 6, 7, they're burnt out by the time they get to 13, 14. So they may be good in high school, they may be good enough to get by. By the time they get to college, they don't care anymore, and I've seen that firsthand. I'm not gonna name
yeah,
names, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, bro, like you can't make a kid do something they don't want to do. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And so,
yeah,
with this game, man, like it's fun, and you have to keep it fun because I didn't told our kids, I didn't talk to you about it. Once you reach a certain point, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, but it's a lot more businessy, and once it gets more businessy, that fun kind of it wavers. It depends on the scenario. So, you got to be able to just enjoy where you're at and stay in the moment. And so I applaud my mom, my pops for not putting any pressure on me, even though my cousin was in the league and, allowing me to work out with my cousin. He did the same thing. Like we worked out all summer, but I didn't feel any pressure to try to make it. It was just, if you want to do this is what you got to do. And so that's where I was. So,
yeah. Well, man, I'm telling you, man, it's like you kind of hit on it for a second about the fun part of it. Like at this stage, I think about it, you're what 30 years old now.
30 on the
30
dot.
years, 30 years
Yeah.
you've been out of high school now for 12 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so 12 years removed, which I got a chance to see firsthand as one of the top players in the area. When you were coming out of school, And so when you're at this stage now as a pro man, you said that it's not always fun, but how are you able to still pull some enjoyment out of it, even though you have all the business stuff that's going on, and now you're playing for contracts, you're playing for spots. I got a family now, I'm trying. So, like, how do you still maintain enjoying the process of the game with all this other stuff going on in the back of your mind? What's that like to kind of to mix it up and to struggle with that to still be having fun playing the game?
I mean, it's tough to handle, simply because like I'm not on the NBA side of things. Like I did that my rookie year, but for the most part, I've been overseas, and so with overseas basketball, people have to understand like it's very different, mainly because you're gonna play way less, you're gonna practice way more. Typically, with most European teams, you're gonna play one game a week, so you'll be out overseas for 10 months, and if you log 30 games, that's great, but most teams will play 20, 22, 24, 25 games, depending on the league. And, each game is pressure packed because even the worst team in the league, they can win one game on any given night. So, the main thing with having that balance is just that you have to be able to understand like what's going to happen is going to happen.
Okay,
You can't sit there and worry about whether you're going to get fired or who's coming in and who's the coach and what's the system. Because if you start worrying about all that stuff, that one game, that one chance you have to kind of procure your spot or procure a new contract, like you're not even in the moment. So for
right.
me, like I've been on both sides. Like I've been in a spot where I was playing well, and I heard a couple teams about the call from the NBA. I started worrying about that and ended up playing bad and ended up getting fired in the same season. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
if you start worrying about stuff that you can't control, at the end of the day, it's just not going to vote well for you. So, the game's going to be the game. You got to play in that moment. And if you have a bad one, hey, it is what it is. You can't sit here and worry about it because if you worry about one, it turns into two. And it's not the NBA where you got 2, 3 games in a week. If you play
Yeah.
3 bad games in a row, that means essentially you're playing bad for that whole month. And
Man.
one whole month in Europe, especially as a 6 foot guard, hey, it was cool, nice to know you, but we'll find a new one in a day or two. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a million of us out here. So that's
So
that
you
was the situation.
just so you just said something like something because we want to make sure that we hit as much as we can. You just
Yep.
mentioned being a 6 foot guard. Now, this is our city. This is where we from. This is
Yep.
where we born and raised. Around here,
That's
around
true.
here, man. By the time you hit 6 foot, 6'1", what we start doing with players? What we start slapping them,
Yep. Oh, hey, big fella.
put them up,
Hey,
put them in the post.
yep. Put him up
So,
right on the block. Jump put.
which of course, winning is winning. Got to learn how to win and play all of the
Right.
game. But when you talk about the struggles of being a 6 foot, how significant is overcoming the fact that you're 6 feet tall and on average, how big or how tall are the guards that you're playing against? Playing overseas as a pro right now. What's that like? What's that really like? And I know you're a tough guy, so you ain't
Yeah.
never been. You know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
it
So
ain't, it ain't about that, but it's just
but the
as
reality of what do you have to overcome and how you overcome those things being a 6 foot guard playing professional basketball.
so you know for me, like obviously, like I'm typically like one of the main ball handlers, typically like one of the primary guys overseas. Obviously, the G League's very different. Last year I played with Xavier Moon, and he was the man. He was amazing. But typically, when I go overseas, man, I sign the teams where I want the ball in my hands. I don't, that's just that's my approach to overseas basketball. And
Mm-hmm.
so with that, if I'm playing a good team, like if we play a EuroLeague team, I'm gonna sign. I'm gonna typically get guarded by the two or the three, and a EuroLeague two-man, two-guard, three-man's anywhere between 6'4", 6'6", you know what I'm saying? Pretty athletic. So, like the standard overseas is like, okay, if the guard's really good, you got a really nice one guard, you put length on them. You know what I'm saying? And so obviously with the way the defenses are in Europe, where everything's pack line, there's no three in the key on defense, so everybody can sit in the paint and wait. And so they just try to make you shoot tough shot after tough shot. You know what I'm saying? Because in
Mm-hmm.
Europe, you don't want a bunch of ISO ball. You want to do it at the end of the games, but typically if you can score within tactic, like pick and rolls, like easy shots, get some layups or whatever, that's what they want. But if I'm being guarded by a great team, defender's gonna be 6'3". It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be in your face. Or, they probably start out a game with a young 18-year-old that's got all the energy in the world. He's just harassing you, whether he's a good defender or not. He's trying to make you tired. He fouls you 2 or 3 times, gets you upset, calls you some names. Then he subs out, and then they bring in the real defender. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
anything that'll get you thrown off just a tad is all they want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we
Right.
fell victim to that early, and so I understood. Like, okay, after about 2 years, like, okay, this is what they do, and then after that, I was fine. But them first two
Right.
years, I was definitely trying to get out of them. You know what I'm saying? So,
So I mean, so with that being said, going to that detail, because like I said, we talking a little basketball as well. Talk about mindset. You know what was going on with you mentally during that time frame? You know, because like I said, you are a pro now. You just coming out of college at the pro level. Took you a couple years to figure out mentally. Did you ever find were you ever at one of those breaking points? Because I've talked to some guys that got to some breaking points. Did you ever get to those breaking points, or did you
oh,
were you able to keep that tunnel?
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, because I have to ask that, man, because
Nah,
sometimes everything comes so easy to our kids today, man. Like it's like, when and I have to got to talk about myself as a coach.
right,
You know, I know everybody's not going pro. The numbers are the numbers; they're real.
right,
But I challenge your manhood. This is what I do.
right,
I challenge
right.
your manhood. It can be called bullying today. That's the
Yeah,
term today. I mean, that's that
right.
that word. That bullying is throwing people in jail and getting people fired. All kind of stuff going on. It's called bullying.
Yeah,
When I'm challenging your manhood because now you got another person that's in your way. They're an obstacle, and you're trying to get something. To me, if somebody else is stopping you from doing what you want to do, you never want to do it.
right. No,
Now,
that's facts. That's
I
facts.
mean,
No,
and,
I
and
agree
you
with
and
that.
you and you and you helped me when you had all your teammates that you've seen in college and pro over time, and you've seen adversity hit all of y'all. Everybody didn't make it. What did that look like for some of your teammates over time?
I mean, in college, bro, it was. I mean, obviously, like like I tell our kids all the time about the horror stories as far as strength and conditioning, bro. Like, I think that's essentially the biggest adjustment once you
Mm-hmm,
go from high school to college, especially if you
mm-hmm,
go. What not? It don't even matter the level, honestly.
mm-hmm.
But once you that first summer, like our team was very unique in the sense that we had 6 freshmen, and I think it was like 8 sophomores, one junior, and the senior that we had was a walk on that ended up being the assistant coach that was from the city that I knew anyway. That's Ted Crass. So we
Okay.
were a bunch of kids. Like it was a bunch of kids. Like it was 18, 19, one was 20. None of us could go to the bar. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like
Uh-huh.
that first summer, man. Oh man, it was crazy because like like you think kids like I thought I was fast, right? Until I had to be fast 12 times in a row. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I thought I
Yeah.
could jump high. You know what I'm saying? Until I had to jump high 20 times in a row. I thought I could lift but it's just like that level of intensity that you have to lift with so early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Uh-huh.
one thing to like, oh, I can prepare but it's 5 a.m. and it's not
Yeah.
5 a.m. Monday and then we do it again Friday. For us, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes we take Sunday off, but if we had a bad Saturday, we got Sunday too. So
Yeah.
that whole first summer, man, like you could just see, like, we're trying to figure it out together. So when one dude wanted to fold, for sure, them first he's folding,
Yeah.
and that's myself
Yeah.
included because we've never been there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? We've never
Yeah.
been there,
Yeah.
and like we were trying to figure it out together, but like I could just remember guys just like dropping. Like I remember one guy I played with, John Gillen. He gonna get mad I say this, but I don't care. John Gillen, he played with us his freshman year, ended up going to Colorado State, finished at Syracuse, ended up scoring like 40 against Duke. Amazing player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably the fastest kid I've ever seen in my life in person. I remember one day we were running hills at the high school, probably like 10 minutes from the college. We ran about
Mm-hmm.
3 hills, and then you had to run. I think it was like you had to run a hill down and back. You had to run around the track 2 times, and that was one. We had to do it like 5 times. So I think we got to like set number 3, and
Yeah.
John was very. He was like we were all dramatic, but John was like on a whole nother level. So so like mind you, like he's like the fastest kid like on the team, like no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah.
We get to like the third set, and he ran up the hill. We're on the track, like, and I'm behind him, and
Yeah.
he starts to slow up, and I'm looking at him, I'm like, okay, maybe I can catch him. Like
Uh-oh.
I
Uh-oh.
never catch John in conditions.
Uh-oh.
So I started to catch him a little bit, and then like he stopped, and Coach Barron, he was like, "John, why'd you stop?" He was like, "Coach, I got acid reflux, bro." I promise you,
Oh my God.
the whole team, Coach, I'll tell you, the whole team, like we stopped, we were dying laughing, bro. We laughed at him for like the rest of the summer, bro. But I mean, honestly, like, and that was just one time, but like, it just showed you like how far you get pushed in college, man. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it's just in general, just like that whole experience, like when you look back at it, it's like, how did you possibly make it? But you only realize you make it because like everybody's pushing you to get better, man. So it was
Yeah.
fun, but it was definitely challenging for sure.
Man, that's boy. But you know, but now you work hard. Now, I'm gonna give a
Right,
shout out here to Coach Yates. You
for
know,
sure,
Yates is
for sure,
somebody you spent a lot of time
a lot.
with
Yeah,
Coach Yates as a kid. I know you played. Shout out to Coach Carl Harris with the Brown Ballers.
right,
You
right.
know, man, you put in a lot of work that I got a chance to see kind of from a distance. But I knew,
Yep.
you know, I knew who you were. I knew that you were putting in the time. I knew that you were a unique guy at the time frame when I was moving back home here to Shreveport, Bossier, and I got a chance to see you compete against some big time names who I probably have on the show, Mike Qualls and what's our boy name at Bossier, my guard.
Jalen West,
Yeah,
yeah,
man,
the
Jalen West.
greats
You know what I'm saying?
for
Like,
sure.
you know, I've gotten a chance. I got a chance to see, but the work that you put in at that time, like when you got to college, getting to that next level of work, like, were you prepared for that? And I mean, it's like we talking about the conditioning and the weight. Like, did you really get prepared for that part, or was that really, you know, all of that was just totally brand new to you?
No, I mean you can't prepare for college. Like you'd have to be in my mind, like the way I see it, you'd have to be in like a college kind of high school, like one of them over like them prep schools. Like that's really the
Okay,
only kind of way.
okay,
Because like with me and Coach Ace, like we trained basketball wise for college. So like
right,
on
right,
that side, I was ready.
right.
But you can't train for 5 a.m. 6 days a week and then class for 4 hours and then more train. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
it's not.
unless you play for me, you know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But
Because
by LHSA standards, like I just don't think that's like humanly possible. So like, with me and Coach X, like obviously we were, by any means, like we'd be outside in the park. We'd be at what's the rec center? God,
God, who the
we
ball?
we we'd be a Hooter, we'd be at Airport Park.
Yeah,
We'd be all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or
yeah,
we'd be outside at Huntington. Like I
yeah,
remember playing outside but then they like it was basketball. Like for the most part, we worked on my athleticism, we gotta be jumping higher.
yeah,
But we weren't lifting weights, we weren't squatting crazy, we weren't, because like for me, high school, I did work hard, but as far as lifting weights, I was not going I wasn't pushing like
yeah,
I was 145 when I graduated. So,
yeah, 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 yeah,
I just wanted to
yeah.
play ball, man.
I feel you.
But
So speaking of that, let's see here. Yeah,
it's crazy.
I
It's
got it, don't
crazy.
it? I did
Yeah.
my homework, huh?
Respect, respect.
I did my homework. So who is
Respect.
this guy? Who is this guy
Oh,
right here with the
oh man,
airline
this guy
jersey on?
here.
Who is that guy?
Oh man, that is a junior that is still super emotional, man. Still working hard, still trying to find his way, still trying to find a school to commit to. But that was a kid that wanted to win really bad, for
Yeah.
sure. That
Oh
was a
yeah, I
kid that wanted
saw
to
it.
win really bad. Yeah, he wanted to win really bad. So
Yeah,
yeah, man. I remember every time we used to walk in that gym, bro. I mean, Jim's always rocking, man, and the stigma behind airline, man. You know how it was. So,
yeah,
like we were a good team, but people did not want to lose to us, and
yeah.
obviously for obvious reasons that don't need to be stated. But I mean, like for me, like that was the fun part, though. You know what I mean? Because like I would watch a lot of teams, not Southwood, but I would just watch a lot of teams that were good, right? And I would watch them play Huntington, and I watch them play Bowdoin. I would just watch them back down. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? I just flat out. You know what I'm saying? Not y'all. But I
yeah,
watch them just back down, right? And the same teams would come to our gym, and we just as
yeah,
good. And
Yeah.
I mean, and teens is ready to fight us. You know what I'm saying? Like teens did
Yeah.
not like us, but
Yes.
like
Yes.
I had fun being the bad guy, bro. I really did. I took pride in that, and that's probably why I lead the state airline cope and all technical files. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just who I was, bro. Like I wasn't gonna let you walk in our gym and try to bully us around for whatever reason. So, it was fun though. It was
Man,
fun.
I tell you what, bro. I loved watching your passion. I loved watching your energy, but at the same time, I was like, would somebody check this boy,
Yeah.
please? Like, please
Yeah.
put a muzzle
Yeah.
on this joker, man, and get this joker under control. For me, it wasn't out of hate. It was I was
Nah.
looking at the future.
Nah,
I
for
was like,
sure.
man, honestly, man, I want this kid to make sure his mind right. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Before
for
he get
sure.
to the next level. But man, it was something about you, dude. Like, I got a chance to coach against you as an assistant coach at Southwood,
Right.
and I think that was your junior year. It
Yeah.
might have been your junior year, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken, because the next
Mm-hmm.
year as a senior,
You
I
was
was
at
at
Fair
Fab Park.
Park.
Yep, I was at Fab Park, and we got a
Lil
chance to
D and
scrimmage
Lil
against
D
you.
and all them.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lil D and
yeah,
all them
shout out
killers. For sure.
yeah. And so I got a chance to see, man, for a couple of years up close and personal. Like I said, it really was like I loved watching you compete, man. I remember when what the guy name from Oklahoma
Oh,
came?
Stevie Clark. Stevie
Stevie
Clark. Yep.
Clark, God dog. For those of
Yep.
y'all that know your basketball, Stevie Clark was at any given night can go for 60. Any given night.
Literally.
He came to the Bossier tournament. Coach Jeremiah Williams invited their school down, and they got a chance to go head and head. And I watched Josh go shot for shot with Stevie Clark. At that moment, I knew how good Josh was, but to watch you step up to that level, they had this guy that was highly touted, big time recruit. I think he was getting recruited out of Oklahoma State and
Yeah.
UConn.
He's supposed to go to UConn. Yeah.
So let's go to UConn, and I watched Josh go toe to toe with this dude, like toe to toe. And what was crazy is your team stepped up with you
Right.
and competed. Like his team let him get buckets. They
Yeah.
rebounded, they blocked shots, they played defense, and they knew he was taking all the shots. And
Yeah.
and that night, your team transformed into that team. Like if your teammates never played for you that way, they played for you that night. And in my opinion, if they would have played at that all times, you probably would have got two state championships. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Because we have a hard time around here embracing the kid that's special. We just do.
yeah.
If people want to pull and tug and you should be doing this, you should be doing that. When the truth is,
Right.
everybody ain't putting in the time that Josh Hagins putting in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the coach to tell you that. I'm like, look,
Yeah.
hey, I see him in the gym. Shoot all the shots you want. You ain't never in the gym. You better play defense and rebound. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm that kind of coach. I don't care when it comes down. It's not equal opportunity when it comes down to it. But man,
Yeah.
watching you it was so much fun, man. But like I said, that kid, you said something. You said that I was still trying to get recruited. I was still
Yeah.
trying to be seen. What was that like for you getting into your junior year and still trying to? And let me ask you a question too. Were you looking for a certain opportunity, meaning a certain size
Yeah.
school, or did you not get? Okay, then so go through that, man. What was that like for you when you were, as time got on, got just you were going and you went from ninth grade to 10th to 11th to 12th grade, and you were looking at how recruit was going. How was that for you when you were not probably getting the opportunities you really wanted to get?
So like ninth grade, my very first letter was Southeastern, and that's Coach Cordero, who actually just texted me probably like an hour ago. That was my first letter. I would
Mm-hmm.
get a lot of interest, like surveys from big schools, so
Okay.
like
Okay.
Indiana's and A&M's, and but what happened was like they wouldn't keep sending stuff.
Okay.
And
Okay.
for me, was I a bit arrogant? I mean, yeah, you probably say so. But at the end of the day, like I felt like the kids that I was playing against in the summer, which is the same kids I've been playing against, since I was five. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
when I was 5, 6, I wasn't there. But kind of once I moved from Arkansas and I kind of gained my own identity instead of just oh, I was playing with Bobby Portis and I was playing with Archie and I was playing with IJ Reddy and Dusty Hannis and Daryl Mackin and
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun Watkins, like these like 6, 7 guys end up going high major D1. I kind of found myself and I was like, well, no, I can play too, bro. Like I'm not just one of these guys. Like I'm not
Yeah.
just one of the guys in the back. So like
Yeah.
once I got to ninth grade, bro, like I'm getting letters, but like they're not sticking. You know what I'm saying? It's like the letters that were
Uh-huh.
sticking, like Southeastern was sticking, Tulane, Nickel State,
Yeah.
Sam Houston
Yeah.
State, Stephen F. Austin, to Arkansas Little Rock, like
Right.
and it was a bunch of schools that like like you don't dream of going to. You know what I'm saying? No offense to
Yeah.
them, but it was just like for me, like
Right.
I'm Arkansas, I'm from Little Rock. I wanted to go. I wanted to be a Razorback. That's what I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
Darren McFadden, Joe Johnson, like that's what I wanted. And so for me, bro, like every summer, like I was trying to find a way to just like I want to show y'all I'm there, but I couldn't
Yeah.
quite put it together. I'd have a good tournament, then a bad one. So ninth grade, I would get the letters. 10th grade, okay, but they're still calling a lot, so you still got to deal. Back then you had to be on the phone. So I'd tell on the
Yeah.
phone for like an hour and a half, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, no, like,
Yeah.
3 days a week, while I'm doing
Yeah.
homework or whatever. By the time I get to that junior year, bro, it's still kind of the same story. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really get those looks that I wanted. Uh,
Yeah.
all the way through. And I think a lot of it was like you said earlier, like I was a passionate kid, bro, but sometimes I just get a little too hot, bro, and then technical
Yeah.
fouls end up costing me. So like I tell the kids all the time, man, like you have to understand, like you're not in competition with the dude in the city. That's
Mm-hmm.
it's not the city that so
Yeah.
like when people say, "Oh, Josh, you're the best in the city," like I didn't care because I'm Arkansas. I understood it's of no
Yeah.
value. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's of no value. Now, if I lived in Houston, Texas, okay.
Oh yeah.
If I lived in California, okay, you got something
Yeah.
because you can be the best player in that city and then go to a big school. But from
Yeah.
here, you know, nah. Okay, I got to
Yeah.
be the best in the state, and then it means something. But like that year, I was still chasing, I'm still dreaming, and I figured, hey, shoot, if he's going to UConn, he's like, where you going? I'm like, shoot, I don't know. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And we
Yeah.
talked after the
Yeah.
game. I was like, bruh. He's
Yeah.
like, bro, you can play. He's like, you should come with me. I was like, fam, I'd love to, but that's just not possible right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that process, I mean, it was tough, but at the end of the day, bro, like I was telling, like what's gonna be for you is gonna be for you. And at the end of the day, like
Yeah.
I remember I tried to commit to Creighton, and it's a real life story. I took the visit, it was official,
Yeah.
and I remember after the visit, bro, I called Coach McDermott. He came to airline and everything, all the way from Nebraska, and
Yeah.
I was like, Coach, I want to commit, and I remember the assistant coach was like, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and
Wow.
I was like, what you mean? And he was like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Hung up. And so, I'm emotional. I started crying, called my mom, crying. I'm coming back from the visit. Me and my brother went on the visit. I came back crying. We had like 4 days of practice, bro. And like I was there, but like I was just, you know, so I'm like, like I'm hurt, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And I only had one visit left, and I ended up taking it to Arkansas Little Rock, and luckily for me, man, it was home. And so, I really didn't have to take it. I already knew what was there. The coach, Steve Shields, I've been going to his camp since I was in fourth grade, so I knew him
Yeah.
by, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Ended up committing, but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
just I remember that whole letdown from Creighton. I thought I ain't gonna say I thought my career was over, but like I thought I was pretty close to it. You know what I'm saying? So at
Yeah.
16, 17, I was shot. I ain't gonna lie.
Man.
Yeah.
Did you ever were you ever able to find out what their reason was? Like did
Oh, yeah, I knew that. I knew that like like a week later. So when I took the visit, we were playing pickup, and I was playing against a PG. I believe he was a junior. I can't remember his name. It was so long ago. That's how old I am. But I played against a PG. He was going to be a junior by the time I got there, so I had to wait 2 years anyway. So I ended up bringing in a two guard. I think he was from like Iowa or something, maybe.
uh-huh.
But he was like 6'3", great shooter, right? And for me, like their vision for me was pass first, like a 10-5 kind of guy. And so for me, I just
Okay.
have to wait 2 years. And
Okay.
I'm me, bro. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not waiting nowhere. So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I played them, but like I was going at them and I was talking. I talk when I play. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Creighton, kind of a quiet school. They don't really talk. They don't. They play the right way. They're a great team, but there's not like an outgoing personality. Like even Doug McDermott, he was scoring 30 points a game, 30,000 points.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
he would
Yeah.
score in silence. And so like the pickup, like only time you hear people talking is like, oh, I got help or I'm on the ball or something like that. But like there's no
Okay.
like, so I bring them back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so the other
Yes. You.
kid, the other kid, like great shooter, solid, whatever. But for me, I think I was just like a little different from the rest of the group. And
Right.
I think at the end of the day, it was just like I think they kind of used me just to get to the kid, to be honest, trying to make him hurry up. So I was kind of like bait in a sense. So like if I
Yeah.
come visit, okay, now all of a sudden he's here because he didn't get there the first day. He was there like the last day I was there, the third day.
Yeah.
So he came to
Yeah.
play pickup. Then all of a sudden I tried to commit, didn't get it. He committed like maybe like a month later that he's there. I'm like, okay, I see what that was. So I kind of
Yeah.
used it as fuel. I don't hate Creighton by any means, but I did use it as fuel to kind of get me going. So definitely.
Yeah. So did that change you? Meaning, because I know your approach. To me, you're like Gary Payton. Gary Payton. He got to fire up with his mouth, and then he had this moment in time where he tried to kind of cool off and not talk as much. But then his dad had to tell him, "No, man, that ain't you." You know what I'm saying? You got to be. You know what I'm saying? You got to be who you. You can't even play basketball. Did that happen for you? Like, is it? Did you find yourself trying to pull back a little bit with your mouth playing, or did they just fuel you even more? To continue being who you were. Like, what was that like for you?
No, I mean that's how we grew up, man. Like I tell you, like I tell people all the time, like how I grew up when you play, bro. Like it's from first grade till the time you graduate. Like it's got to mean something to you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And so like for us when we was kids with Coach Reddy and I'm sorry about shout out to Coach out, Coach Salandra and Coach
yeah,
Hannes and Coach Winston.
yeah,
For them it was personal. So
yeah,
we're 6 years old. So if I'm sitting there watching, like if I'm sitting there and watching them yell, I'm like, well, shoot, I got to yell too. I ain't gonna just let him just, you know what I mean? And so like that's how our group was, bro. Like we was so into games, bro. We first grade, so like a big thing about young good teams is we play up, right?
yeah,
So like
yeah.
there's a big size difference between a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old team. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So like when we
right.
played them 9-year-old teams, they would see us, they're like, oh, they dude's little, tiny. We take it personal. So
Yeah,
we don't care if it's 9 in the morning because we don't need to stretch no way. We good. You know what I'm saying? We would press, and this is back we playing 3 and 4 and 5 games a day. We would
yeah.
press from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. like
God,
all day, 12 months a year. So every time we score, all you hear is a little dude. I just read it. It's one of my favorite guys ever. I love you. He was a year younger than us. He was in kindergarten. He was like he's even smaller. Like his shorts is like touching his shoes, coach. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So like, you know what I'm saying? And so like every time we score a layup, all you hear is a little dude, diamond, and we are in it. We in it, and every time we get and it's 15 of us, coach. And our AU team, look at Arkansas.
yeah,
It's 14 dark skins and one white kid. That's Dusty Henderson. He's a shooter, and we all got braids, so we fast, and we finna foul you. So
yeah.
like that's just how it was, bro. Like for us, every game was personal, and so I remember being on this. We were on the same two teams, the Wings and the Hawks, back and forth. What we do, shuffle between the Wings and the Hawks. Every time we lost, coach, from 2001, you can ask my mama too, from 2001 to 2007, every time we lost, whole team sobbing, crying like we just got like beat. You know what I'm saying? Like every game, but that's who we were. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's who we were. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and that's the kind of attitude that I brought here. And like did it cost me a little bit? Yeah, but I
yeah,
can't change who I am. Who I
yeah,
am is a guy that cares. Who I am
yeah,
is a guy that's gonna let you know. So if
yeah,
you don't want me to talk, you got to beat me. You got to shut me up.
yeah.
But I'm not
Right.
finna just, you know what I'm saying? I've never been that way. I'm not wired like that.
Do you, when you come home and get a chance, in the summertimes, for those that know, Josh, he every summer since he's been out of high school, he comes back and he trains at his old high school, Airline High School, which y'all see in the picture. I got a chance to witness it for myself for the last 3, 4 years. And he's excellent at what he does, with skill training, and not just the skill, but also the mental aspect, giving guys the tools and the nuggets, that it takes in order to perform at a high level. My question to you is when you come home and watch, do you remotely see any of the passion when you watch kids play now as a whole? Do you see that same passion? or anything close to it often
Um,
enough when you come home and watch the kids play?
so that's what I'll say. So like this is like the difference between like me and like a lot of kids that like have that like in my era kind of mentality. Um, I see it for what it is. I think when I played, there was not a bunch of teams that had the same joy that some of the teams had. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like the passion that a Bossier High had with a Jalen West and a Tay Tay and a
Mm-hmm.
JJ and a
Mm-hmm.
Lindell, like, and the passion that a Shamir and a Kendrick, you know what I'm saying? The passion that a Sheldon, a Mike Dean, a
Yeah.
Dean, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody in the city didn't have that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And so, like, the teams that didn't have it, we on you. We get you out of there in 2 quarters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And so I think it's always kind of been the same. Like I feel like it's 4 or 5 teams that play super hard that it matters to them.
Yeah.
And it tells, and it's not necessarily about like if they're gifted or not. You can, but it's
Right.
like it doesn't matter. So like at Huntington on Raspberry Lane, it matters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At Calvary, it matters.
Yeah.
Like no doubt, Bossier, it don't matter who's there.
Yeah.
It matters. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
like because it's a tradition and it's a pride. And so like for me, when I played, like I took pride in not having to be at a school that already had their kind of tradition laid out. And
Yeah.
I took pride in being an airline and making it a thing. And so like
Yeah.
even, it's airline. Like we don't get pep rallies for the basketball. I would tweet myself. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag airline basketball. We do this like and I'm tweeting like I took pride in it. Because when we
Yeah.
walked in the gym, I wanted you to know we were coming.
You
We're here.
did.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
so like that's what, and so like now, like, do I see it in every team? No. But in my opinion, I don't think for us, like I'm not gonna speak before because I hadn't really watched too much before. But
Yeah.
for our era, I don't think every team was just no. I felt like we played some quitters. Ain't no point naming names,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
feel like it was some dudes that like if I see like they're scared before it starts, and the same way now. Like if some teams walk in the gym and all they gotta do is just but it was the same thing. When Jalen West and them walked in the gym, some teams checked out before they walked in. When
Before
Shamir
it.
and
Yeah.
when Shamir and Doc and Pooh and Mike Qualls, when they walked in the gym, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
teams checked out. And that was
Mm-hmm.
facts.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I see it for what it is, bro. And like I don't like, one thing I hate is like when people, oh well, no, they not like us. No, so I watched you play. You weren't like that. Stop lying. You know what I'm saying? You were scared. So don't. So if you're scared, you can't be mad at your son for you were the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I just try to check that. Like, I don't really appreciate because like I do think we got kids in the city that can hoop, man. Like we got kids and kids got game, coach. Some of these
Yeah.
kids got game. And now
Yeah.
now it's something things we can work on, absolutely. But it was things I could work on when I was in school too, bro. Like, I wasn't perfect, bro. Like yeah, don't get
Right.
it twisted, bro. So I just like to live in reality, coach. That's all.
I mean, man, it's crazy that you say that because I think it goes back to when you said when you were a kid and your parents were taking you to tournaments and you were playing and it was to have fun. And I
Yeah.
and I think for me, like me, I'm very, very passionate about what I do. I love what I do. That's why I can't be around lazy kids.
Oh,
That's
for
why
sure.
I can't be that's why
Yeah.
that's why I can't be
Yeah.
around selfish kids and arrogant. And so everybody think when they use the term, well, you gotta love them, you gotta love them. Well, no, that's not the case. Love comes in different forms.
Right.
It comes in chastisement as well. It comes in
Yeah.
correction. Like that's what it comes in. So it's like I'm trying to see what. Hold on, right quick. Yes, babe. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's a microphone or something. I don't know. Okay, then. Josh, you got a fan on or something? I'm getting some help on feedback or something.
Let me see.
I'm getting a little help. I appreciate it. Thank you, sweetie. She was telling me we got a little ringing going on here.
Well, I got a fan on it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll check our volume too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ain't no problem. Look here, I'm very informal with this, so I don't care.
Yeah. It's all good. That's what it is.
Yeah, I turned the volume down a little bit, so let's see if that
Okay.
helps out. But man, it's like now because we in this era, and like I said, you're a guy that you're playing the game at the level that people say they want to get to,
Right.
but everybody wants to massage and
Oh
and
yeah.
to and to pull back, and I mean like. you know, of course, I don't want to say I'm being careful with my words because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do the job the way that I do it. And whatever way I need to improve, I'll improve it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with being self aware. What kills me, though, is that even when it doesn't come down to just the game, like, it's because you're playing the game for all these other reasons.
Right.
Like some guys just want to play just so they can put on the jersey and post pictures on Instagram.
Nah, facts.
Like,
Right.
get in the gym and they might play, a little pickup, put up some shots here and there. They want to post and put their pictures up. And yeah, we in the
Yes.
gym, we working. It is amazing to me how, we're fooled today. We're so fooled because we're confusing kids that play basketball and then kids that compete at the game.
Yeah.
It was 2015 to the 14-15 season when that reality hit me,
Yeah.
and it took Coach Carl Harris. We was playing a game, and I won't call, like I said, I won't call players' names. No, we were playing somebody from out of town. They had a big time football prospect on their team.
Yeah.
We had football players, but this football player, I'm talking about, he signed to a major SEC
Yeah.
Division I school, and he came in there and he pounded us,
Yeah.
and we still had a chance to win. But you can see that we weren't competing,
No.
and it took Coach Harris. I think it was halftime. It might have been after the game too. I can't remember, but I know that was the first and only time I saw him tear into our team about competitors. If you're not going to compete and you're trying to save yourself, thinking you want to get you a football scholarship, well, a football player just kicked our butt. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You out here half playing. You don't want. If you ain't no competitor, then you ain't no man. So just go ahead and quit. Like, he called it out.
Yeah.
So like, just go ahead and quit. Don't come back here if you don't want to lay it on the line for us. And so for me, even though I knew that in the back of my mind, hearing him say that in that moment, that's when it hit me. And that's when my standard really went through the roof. It really went through the roof, man, because I'm like, man, if you're a competitor, you're a competitor. Period.
Yeah.
It don't matter what you're doing. They say Michael Jordan, everything he do, he's competing. I bet you I could beat you walking to that door. I bet you I could piss faster than you. I bet you I could flip this coin and get. It's everything. It does not shut off when you're a
That's facts.
competitor. And so that's the kind of person I believe you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just ain't gonna let nobody beat you at nothing. Nothing.
No.
And if they
I mean,
beat
it's
you, they earned it.
no. I mean, it's just kind of that's the only way you. So like, even if you have like goals you're trying to get, like, there's no like sweet walk around. Like, you can't walk around getting, like, you have to go through it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so, like, I think now we're kind of like in this era, like, and I don't want to blame it on like load management, but like, people think because like these guys that have already made it do different things that they can kind of, no, like, Kawhi didn't load manage as a kid to get to where he can load manage now. He did
Right,
what he had to do,
right,
and he worked
right.
extremely hard. So like, you can't sit here and compare your 15-year-old self to a dude that's 28 that got 607, like, money that we can't fathom. Like, we're not in the
Right,
same place. For you to get to where
right.
you're trying to go, bro, the only way is to do it as hard as you can. And that's to give you a chance. And that's the thing. Like, people think like, oh yeah, I'm working harder than this kid. I mean, that's cool. That's a piece of it. But that's just to give you a
Yeah,
chance to see if you're better than them. Some kids don't
yeah,
have to work hard.
yeah,
Some don't. It's not a lot. It's not a lot.
yeah.
But some kids can wake up, Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, they can wake up, they can eat some donuts, they can smoke a cig, and they can go to a game and put up 45 points. There's nothing we can do about it.
Right?
There's nothing we can do. That
Yeah,
but
that's
but
real.
that's the
That's
reality.
real.
That's the reality of sports, though. And so, like, with some kids have to work super hard. Like,
Yeah,
we had a kid that shoe coach at Airline that I love. He worked harder than anybody else. Never didn't get a chance because he just
yeah,
wasn't good enough. But
yeah,
that's the reality. That's why I love sports, is because like there's so many different ways for people to make it. But reality is 85, 95% of us, we have to do it this way. It For me, it wasn't, oh yeah, I'm gonna just wake up, I'm gonna be all state. No. When I was
yeah.
on my AAU team as a kid, I was the sixth best, seventh best on a team of 10.
And I can't see that.
Yeah. And I on a team of 10 in first grade.
You know what I'm saying? And we're all from the same city. So if I'm the seventh best kid on my own team, how can I make it to where I'm all state by the time I'm a senior? It's just hard
Right.
work.
Right.
That's the only way. I was fast. I wasn't the fastest kid you've ever seen. Did I
Hmm.
jump a little high? Yeah, I mean barely. I started dunking as a senior, and they were rim. It wasn't super athleticism. So it's simply hard work, knowing the game, and putting in reps.
Right.
And that's how I got better, bro. And that's the problem with a lot of the kids in these areas. Like a kid will be good in like sixth grade, right? And he'll
Yeah.
have like one great BPAR game or one great SPAR game, and we'll mark him for life. Oh yeah, this is the one. He's this, he's that. And so like they'll make a team in ninth grade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's on varsity in ninth grade. Like we like in the city, we really think that's a like we really. Oh yeah, he's on the.
Really.
Why do you care? It's a
For
high school player on a high school team. It's not an accomplishment. It's okay. It's a feat, I guess, but it's not a big deal.
real.
So a ninth grader be on the team, and this is how it goes. And this is for 80% of this is how it goes. He ninth grade, oh yeah, he's averaging 4 or 5. He's gonna be all right. He got time. 10th grade, he hadn't worked on his game because he thinks he's in 10th grade. He's got time. So what happens is the 4 turns into 6 or 7 because he's just a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
10th grade, didn't work. So by the time he gets to 11th grade, he's averaging 9, 10, 11. Last year, oh shoot! Now I gotta try to work hard. I got 1 year left. I ain't got the looks I was trying to get. It's too late, bro.
It's too late.
It's
It's
too
too late.
late
It's
because
too late.
okay, let's say you do average 14, 15. That's one season, and on top of that, while you haven't been working these last 3 years, there's kids in other states and other
Right.
regions and other countries that have been going hard for 16 years straight. They've been going hard for 16 years straight. So you work hard at the age of 17, and you expect to get the same offer that a kid's been going hard for his whole life.
Yeah.
No chance.
No
No
chance.
chance.
No chance.
No chance, bro.
Uh,
No
unless
chance, man.
unless you 6'8", 250.
I mean, hey, by all means, but in Shreveport, that's few and far in between, baby.
Few
The
and
rest of
far
us,
between. Well,
the rest of us is
I'm glad you say. I'm glad you pointed out though and bring it up because it's just something we just skip over. Because I mean, I just whatever I say. I feel like so many of us are just we're lying and misleading every kid to think, man, do we realize that in the pros there are only 400 spots?
yeah,
It's only 400. Like you're living it, Josh. Like because you early on you were fighting to get those opportunities, and you played in the NBA summer league, and you got a chance to get in those opportunities. And everything is like there are 400 spots. There's 8 billion people in the world. I don't think we really do that math.
no,
It's 8 billion people in the world. 400 spots in the NBA, and now half the NBA is almost European, and I say
yeah,
European loosely, out from out of the
from
country,
outside out of the states, yeah,
outside of the U.S. 400 NBA
yeah,
players, and half of them now are now from around the world,
world, yes,
and we're
yes,
here, and I'm 5'9", 145 pounds, and I'm gonna make it. Now,
I'm cruising.
we're not saying you're not. There are character traits that have to be in place. This is what we're talking about outside the X's and O's. It's character traits that has to be in place. The talent is a gift. Nate Robinson is 5'9", a freak of nature,
Yes,
but at the same time, he had to have a character that would give him the opportunity to make it. It wasn't just his talent. And he wound up having like a 10-year career. You
yeah,
see what I'm saying? Muggsy Bogues at 5'7". Like I gotta bring that up because look at how special they were. But think about the work ethic that they had to have. And we have somebody like you that's walking around town that you come home every year and you're here for 3 months in the summertime and you're involved, you're in the gyms, you're coaching that airline, and you're a walking depiction of what it has to look like. And I guarantee you, most of these kids probably ain't seen you play. Right? They probably seen you play basketball. They
nah, I
probably,
mean
they probably really
they
don't
sent
even know. Go ahead,
no, I mean they sent it on my Instagram page. They haven't sat and watched though. You know what I'm saying?
man.
So nah,
Man,
but I mean, yeah, I mean, but that's like what people have to understand about this game, man. Is like for you to get there, there's for every size, there's things you can do and there's things you can't do.
yeah,
And so with this city, most of us are small.
mm,
It is what it is.
yeah,
So, you know, where a Kendrick can maybe not have like the motor, even though
Yeah.
he had it. Don't get it wrong, he had it. But
Yeah.
where Mosley he can afford to not have a motor and get a D1 scholarship. But they
Uh-huh.
have it. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm giving you an example because like I tell my kids all the time with this game, having height gives you leeway. Right. So even as a pro, like I played with bigs that don't have to think because that's not their job. They don't
Okay.
have to understand the game. They don't have to necessarily play super hard because they're
Yeah.
athletic enough to just play above the rim. But
Right.
the smaller you are, the more dog you have to be.
Yeah.
The more. So Fred VanVleet said it best. He said, bro, if you're 6'2" and under, you're
Uh-huh.
trying to go to the NBA, there's 3 things you got to do. And
Yeah.
didn't lie. I played him. It was actually my first game in summer league. We
Okay.
got blasted by the way. That's what like 50.
Okay.
But anyway,
Okay.
but he said you have to guard full court,
Yeah.
94 feet. That's
Yeah.
non-negotiable. If you are under 6'2" and you're not Trae Young and you're
Yeah.
not picking up full, you're not serious.
Right.
There's no way you're for real.
Sure. I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah. He said you have to be able to catch and shoot. Because it's not going to be a hope at 6 feet for whatever reason, unless you're certain people.
Yeah.
The idea for you is you have to be able to stretch the floor because now the game is getting taller. Like a 6-foot guard is not normal no more.
Yeah.
That's undersized now. So now we're getting into like, okay, guys are 6'3", 6'4", and then we don't even want to get to the Lukas. You know what I'm saying? Because watching Lukas and watching Jokic, this is for me, and watching all these 7-foot guys dribble, knowing it's gonna put my size out of like the game in a few years, it's annoying.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So if you gotta be able to catch and shoot, because if you can't, no point. There's no use. You have no use.
Hope y'all taking notes.
And the last thing is, if you cannot pass, forget about it. Like if you are under 6'2" with no vision, well, honestly, start bowling, play tennis, because trying to play in the NBA at 6 foot and you can't pass, I promise you, they don't care how good you score. It's not gonna work. Allen Iverson days, those days are extinct. They're extinct. You know what I'm saying? Because even my cousin Stephen Barber, he played for the league for a little bit. Back when he was playing a small guard to score, that was the thing. So I used to make jokes to him, like, brother, you was a small forward. You had like 3 assists a game for your career. Like you didn't small. But coach, I'm telling you, he used to put it in the cup. UTA average 25. When he was with the Knicks, like, I mean, he put the ball. That's what he did. You know what I'm saying? But like now, that's not a thing. It's not a thing, bro, because essentially the smaller you are, the more you have to do everything. If you can't rebound as a guard now, it's gonna hurt. They don't care how big you are, because we're getting to a point now where the taller the guy is, they essentially start doing more. Like Jokic does what point guards do. So why would I sign a point guard that can't pass when I have a center that does? Makes no sense. Oh well, shoot, he can't shoot the 3, but I got a dude like Joel Embiid that's 7 foot, 350, and you can't shoot it, and you're 6 foot, and you got small hands. No use. You have no use. So just people sit here and wonder why an Andre Roberson goes extinct. Well, because you have to be able to play defense for sure. Yeah. But if they don't have to guard you on the other end, it's pointless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like a Tony Allen, an Andre Roberson, like those guys were appreciated in a different era. But the way the game is now, you gotta be able to shoot. Like we're getting to the point now where I played this year with the G League Clippers. We had a game with Mason Plumlee. I've never seen him shoot a 3 in my life. He went in our game and shot a corner 3 with his left hand. In game. But that's where the game is now. You know what I'm saying? Like the game is, you have to be able to space the floor because there's a guy that needs to get to the paint. If you can't space the floor or you can't get to the paint, well, holla. Like no disrespect, no, we don't hate you, but you gotta go. You gotta go, man. So
I mean, but you know, if you think about it, I'm sitting there listening to you talk about it though, man. It's just because of course the show is outside the X's and O's, but man, we really could dig into some stuff basketball wise. It's like the game has changed, but it hasn't. And this is what I mean. What I mean is the paint is where you want the ball. In whatever way you get it there. Because you know the triangle offense, which is what they say is obsolete now. Well, the whole point is to get a penetration into the paint, whether it's pass or dribble. Yeah. You want to get the ball inside to pull the defense to do what?
Kick it out.
So you can kick it out. Like that's never changed. Either one-on-one, you go back Shaq or Hakeem or whoever gonna kick your butt, or y'all gonna double team them, kick it out, somebody make a shot. Like the game has changed, but it hasn't. Because if you look at it now, who are the best players in the league the last 5 years? Embiid, Giannis, Jokic. All 5 MVPs, all of them 7-footers. Yep. Because the game is now the Europeans who have stretched the floor, because Giannis still don't shoot great, but they have stretched the floor, but still depend on dominating from the inside. Doesn't change. Right. So now, if you're 6 feet tall or 6'2", how much more special? So like right now for me, I'm talking about Josh Hagins now. For you to still be a pro, you've been out of high school now for 12 years. How many years you been a pro now?
8. This year now.
8 years.
Now. Yeah.
Have you ever been cut, Josh?
Yeah, 3 times.
So paint us. I want y'all to, okay, so I want people to understand this. Okay, Josh Hagins, all state in high school, whatever you want to call it. In district MVP, all that stuff there. Oh, he's the best player of the city. Misses out on a scholarship to Creighton or something bigger because he said he knew there was something with him that he had to evolve in. You get your opportunity. And I'm going to go back to Little Rock. We're going to go back to that. But we're still talking about now pros. So now you're at this point, and you one of the best players that we've ever seen come out of here, and you was cut 3 times. Walk us through one of those. What happened? What led up to that? Like, what took place? Was it, what were the factors that led to you getting cut, in one of those situations?
So the first one, I was in a telecom bond, so I can say their name because it wasn't any bad blood. It was just a mutual agreement. But like I said before, it was a COVID year, right? So I'm already overseas. So like even without a COVID year, even if there's no stress on whatever's going on off the court, it's still tough to be 10 hours away. So I'm from the South. It doesn't. At Arkansas Little Rock, I think there was ice on the street once, and we shut the school down for a week. So I'm in Germany. And I'm in Germany during a COVID year, and Germany's very by the rules. It's very strict, and it snows. So literally the first week I got there, we got nice cars, giving us BMWs to drive. It's all good, but it starts snowing, and it's like a foot of snow. And I don't have snow clothes. I've never owned snow clothes. I don't know what snow clothes look like. So first thing is when you get to the gym, you are freezing cold. Okay. The second thing was I had a Serbian coach. I don't need to name him, but we practiced a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so like in college that's okay because it's college. Like we're 18, 19, 20, 21, maybe 23 at the oldest. But in the pros, even in Europe, like you're gonna practice hard, but you're not gonna practice, I would say, the hours that we did. And so I was coming from Cyprus where a lot of my teammates were 35, 36. The league was kind of calm. You know what I'm saying? My coach, we already kind of understood each other. And, we what's hand? We kind of understood each other. But yeah, everything's kind of understood. We're playing one game a week. And, everything's smooth. Like it's not too hard. We had a couple of good teams in the league, but I get the bond, and they lose their Champion League team, and they lose their Champion League team, and now we're fighting trying to get back into a European play. And so now, I remember the first week I got there, we had to practice at 9 in the morning. We got done 12:45, 1ish. So we're pushing 3, and we're going hard. Like it's like. Even 5-on-0. I'm coming from like a place where like 5-on-0 is like you're kind of cruising. All right, pass, jog. I was doing the same thing. Pass, jog, get through. It's like, go faster. It's like, Coach, we haven't stretched yet. He's like, go faster. So like for 3 hours, like we're running crazy hard. And so like from 9 to 1, that was the first practice. I hadn't had 2-a-days since college. I've been out of school for 4 years at that point. So we've done 1, we come back at 4. We go from 4 7:30. So I'm like, ooh. An off day to us felt like the days we had 1 practice. We didn't really have off days. So long story short, I ended up playing really good the first 3 games. And I think my average was like 17, 7, 5. And I was really good. Like it was, a lot better than people anticipated. But what happened was I started getting some calls about some NBA teams, and
Okay.
you know, the teams like, oh yeah, they was like, these teams gonna watch you, these dudes gonna watch you. So like in my head, I'm like, all right, bro, you really just kind of like 3 or 4 more games away, and you could really leave Bond and get to where you've been trying to get to your whole life. And
Okay.
from there, like literally every time I shot the ball, like, even in practice, like I could just feel like a different energy, like everything was shifting. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm
Okay.
shooting, and at first I was calm, I'm cool, I'm making shots, whatever. But like now I'm like tight. You know what I'm saying? Like even in practice, I'm like tight. Like like we're shooting by ourselves, I'm nervous, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what's up? Like you good? Like
Yeah.
shoulder stuck, it ain't doing what it's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? like I'm hitting front rim, like and I'm nervous, like it's people watching. And mind you, it's a COVID year. It's like even in the games, like the gym is dead empty.
Yeah.
Like now it feels like the gym is full, like everybody's watching me all the time, and I don't like it. So
Yeah.
like the next, I don't know, I played for Bond maybe like 3 months, and
Okay.
coach, I tell you, I was struggling, bro. like it went from like 17.75 and like you know how hard it is for your averages to drop like your
Yeah.
averages. It
Yeah.
went from 17.75 to like 10.22. And I go games
Wow.
where I'm putting up like 6 and games where I'm putting up 4 and like and there's games before I have like 6 points. Like when I had 6, I'd have like 11 rebounds and like 7. But like it's like 6 and 3. Like I got like backup small forward stats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I have
Yeah.
really weak numbers. And I'm playing like 30 minutes. I'm like, bro, like, what's going on? And so like, they bro, like you changed coaches. Coach, like, you good? And I'm like, I think so, but
Yeah.
maybe it's So we tried a new coach, and after a while, it's like, all right, Josh. I mean, we tried everything, bro, but it just didn't work. And it wasn't like I wasn't mad at him. I was really just kind of mad
Yeah.
at myself because it was like, I mean, it was like the second time I was essentially like right there to making it,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
kind of blew it. So like I kind of had my head down. They fired me. I think it was like January, something like that, February, something like that. And ended up going to a summer
Wow.
Greece called Heracles. Finished the
Okay.
year over there. But yeah, man, it's part of the business, bro. Like if you play too bad, you can kind of let them games stack. You start
Yeah.
worrying about the wrong stuff. I mean, bad things happen.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
and then everybody gets fired. But it's just like that was my first time, so it definitely hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's crazy because that's your job. The game that you've been playing your whole life is because it's a
Yeah,
game, but now
yeah,
it's your job. And
yeah.
I mean, did you ever felt like that you figured out what was going on with you then when you left there and went to Greece? Did your play improve
I
at
mean,
that
it went back
time?
to the way it was the start of the year. Like it was just like it was calm. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
Yeah.
like yeah, I mean, it was like for me when I started worrying about like making it because like it was all I've ever wanted to do, which is like
Yeah.
everybody wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like I kind of panic, and so like I remember when I was with the Kings, my rookie year. I'm 22. I'm
Yeah.
coming off
Yeah.
the Purdue game. So essentially,
Yeah.
for about 3 months, you really can't tell me too much nothing. So like
Yeah.
after that game, I thought I was gonna be a Laker, honestly. But so so like I get the summer league because like the pre-drafts, like I was great in pre-draft. Me, 'cause it's 8 a.m.
Yeah.
I talk my best trash in the mornings. I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm
Yeah.
at people. It's one-on-ones. Like you can't guard me in the one-on-ones. I don't really care. So I got the summer league and we practiced and it was cool. And I was with the Kings. And so with the Kings at that point in time, the only PJ they had on the roster was Darren Collison. That was the only one. And so I remember
Okay.
Doris Burke, right? She was on
Yeah.
staff alongside
Yeah.
Carlos Williamson. They're on the staff.
Okay.
And, I know
I
Carlos
saw
from
that.
around the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, I was good when third day of practice, and Doris came up to me, and it's probably the worst thing she ever happened to me. She was like, "Josh, if you play well, you're on the team." And so I'm 22, coach. Like I want you,
Yeah.
like I'm the rookie's rookie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And so like I'm like on the team. She's like, yeah, we like you because my pre-draft was great. So
Yeah.
from there, coach, same thing. I start worrying about. I'm thinking I'm worried. I'm on 2K. I'm about to be a 70, whatever the overall. I'm
Oh
gonna make it.
man.
And so like when I tell you from day 3 in practice to the end of the summer league, I was in a complete panic, and I started playing like when I was a young kid.
Wow.
I used to turn it over crazy. That's what coach. I couldn't get the ball up the court half the games, coach. Like they was playing me at half, bro. Like I think I'm telling you for summer league that week as a rookie, bro. I remember the whole everybody in the city watching. Everybody tweet, Josh, you gotta do this. You gotta play against Purdue. This, that, whatever. They, I had 12 points the whole week, coach.
So okay, so that's interesting to me. Like so it sounds to me as your dream is unfolding,
Yeah,
everything, all the time, all the work, everything.
yeah,
Josh, the human being, the kid, you start thinking about being on video games,
yeah.
the
I
lifestyle,
mean,
the
I mean,
lifestyle that you were going to live. I'm just sitting here
yeah,
just thinking. Somebody who I know loves basketball, you had your moment where basketball wasn't the most. It was everything else that basketball was bringing your way. You found yourself starting to think about that, and then you saw your game be affected. Am I saying that
yeah.
correctly?
So like, yeah, it was a little bit of that, and then it was more like m- me thinking I made it before I did. And I
Okay.
think that was really, it was more so that. And so like, at that point in time, bro, like I said, like at 22, like I thought I was a starter in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like you really couldn't. I was already there in my mind. Because like, I remember I worked out in Boston, and I remember because I think the workout was like on a Friday, so they called me Thursday night. So with pre-draft, if they call you the night before, that means you're a backup. And
Okay.
so once Steve, my cousin, he's like, "Well, you're a backup." So I remember other dudes. They was the workout was at 8 a.m. They flew me in. My flight was at 7 from Houston to Boston. I got there about 11 p.m. Worked out at 8 a.m. So I knew I was a backup. So when I came in there, it was me and Cat Barber. That was a matchup from NC State. Cooked them.
Okay.
I fried, and he was supposed to be like it was like two guards on the draft board. He was one of them. He was like a second round.
Yeah.
I fried him. I best play, my best play. Some of my best work. Word on mother. And so I just coach. Like I remember at the end of the workout, man. I was talking to the coaches, and I was very upset. You know what I'm saying? I was appreciative of the opportunity, but like those guys were there for like either the day before, or like 2 days in advance, and for sure they flew first class. I'm flying in the back of the plane on the way to Boston.
Yeah.
So, they're talking to me. It was like, well, how do you feel? I was like, I'm gonna shoot y'all straight, bro. Like, I don't really like y'all right now.
Uh
Like,
huh.
and I'm talking to like the staff of the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking like, bro,
Yeah.
I know y'all had me in there as a backup, but like, y'all understand? Like, I hoop, bro. Like, I really hoop. Like, everybody you thinking about getting, think of me first because
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, why you feel like that? I said, for one, these dudes been here for 2 days. For 2 days. I had 3 workouts the day y'all flew me out. Three
Uh huh.
with John Lucas, because that's a John Lucas pre-draft, by the way. Killed me.
Mhm.
So I had three workouts that day. I flew that night. I got here at 11. I didn't even have time to get the hotel, the free food, whatever you call it, the room service. I didn't even get the room
Right.
service. I didn't have time to get the
Right.
room service. I had to come in hungry, eat at 6 a.m. at the gym, and then come cook at 9. And I'm flying back. And then on top of that, I don't even got a first class ticket back. So me and some of the same dudes that just had to guard me on the court that I just cooked. I just cooked them. They're gonna be in the front. I gotta walk past them and go to the back. So
Wow.
like yeah, like like for me it was like respect thing. I was always fighting my respect, which is understood because I'm not on Little Rock. But oh damn this thing. Ooh, hold on. Whatever the flu. uh,
Hey, there she go. There she
yeah.
go. Hey, baby. Yeah.
Close the door. Close the door. And get
There she go.
okay, come on. All right.
That's his
One
reason
second.
right there, y'all. There she go.
Yeah. There you go. One mic.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But yeah, bro, it was just yeah, it was just kind of a reminder of like for the most part I've always kind of been overlooked and I was used to it. But at this point now, like y'all finna quit doing it. So that was my train of thought that whole little pre-draft.
So I'm gonna go back to something because this is key for me before we move on. So you admitted at that time that you thought you were something
Yeah,
that you weren't yet.
right.
Well, I like, my thing is I piss a lot of people off. But that's what's wrong with I see it.
Yeah.
These kids, we hype them up, man. Bro, do you realize? And it's a beautiful thing. Like, understand it's a beautiful thing. But our middle school games, in Shreveport, Bossier, man. I'm talking about the middle school championship is just, bro. It packed out the gold dome, bro.
Yeah,
Like, come,
I be
like
saying it. I be saying
the gold dome. You know what I'm saying?
I be saying it, man.
And probably half of those kids probably not even probably they might still be on the team in high school, maybe.
Yeah,
And the only reason I'm bringing it up is because there is so much responsibility on me and those that are in the profession of coaching. That's why I say outside of the X's and O's, man. It's like to keep those kids grounded and to get them to see the big picture. Like me, I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron respecter.
yeah,
You know, his coach treated him like everybody else.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like the guys that we consider to be the greats. You know what I'm saying? Their coaches treated them like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? And here it is for you at that moment in time. You had a moment where you felt like I'm here now. I done made it. Then boom, it's gone. It is gone, just like that.
yeah,
But you still got a chance to keep going. But for some people, that's sixth grade. For some people, that's ninth grade.
yeah,
For some people, it's 12th grade. I mean, it is amazing for me to watch somebody like you who earns your way to that point, and you were human in that moment. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? You were like, okay, I'm here now. I'm good. And that's not the first time I've heard that story. Everybody has those moments. But thank God you still had an opportunity, man, to keep going because there's so many kids that don't make it to that point. They get that attitude in sixth grade or that attitude in eighth grade, and they're done because nobody grabs a hold of them and check them. You know what I'm saying? To get them to see, like, bro, this basketball thing. Even Jason Tatum, who was benched one game, said it was humbling. He's just won an NBA championship, $300 million contract. And to me, I don't think it was that serious, honestly. Like,
no, it's not. It's not.
it ain't that serious. But for him to say what he said, it's humbling. I understand what he's saying. That out of all the guys on the team, he was chosen to not be a part of the game plan that night.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like that's his coach being the coach. But man, LeBron wasn't chosen not to be in the game plan that night.
yeah,
Kevin Durant wasn't chosen to not be in the game plan that night. You were chosen, and this man got the largest contract in NBA history right now. And they said, "I need you to sit out tonight."
yeah.
So,
But
so for me, I think a better version of Jason Tatum comes out now,
for sure.
realizing like, man, at any point in time, man, this stuff can end. And I think we
Nah,
don't do a good job of keeping that in front of our kids' eyes, getting them to see, man, this can stop at any point in time. Take advantage of every moment that you get. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And so like that's why like I give so much credit to that Hawks and that Wings program is because like when we were kids, bro, like the beauty of AAU is like it's not rec league, and so like when you get your face beat in, like you get your face beat in, and there's no letting up. So like as a kid, like we would be and, like I'm saying like the games we lost, like, we cried, but there was games like we would lose by like 40 sometimes because like
Wow.
and like it's not from a team in the city. It'll be like a team from Kentucky where we don't know a soul,
Right.
right? Or it'd be a team from Iowa. I remember, I think one of the greatest teams I ever played as a child, bro. A team called All Iowa Attack. I mean,
Okay.
it's back when the teams was wearing Reebok. It was literally like they had one black guard, six other little white. I mean, and they were coach. And listen, like
Hooping.
it was 15 of us, and we're pressing and we're subbing by the pound. It was seven of them. They was chopping us up at nationals, and that this is before shoot circuit stuff. So
Yeah.
like they was chopping us up. I think
Yeah.
it was like third, fourth grade or something like that,
Yeah.
and everybody's watching all the games because it's like 100 teams there. So you ain't got nothing else to
Mm-hmm.
do. Like
Uh huh.
when as a kid, like first, like your nationals is not in Florida. It's in
Right.
like Memphis. It's
Uh
like
huh.
Kentucky.
Uh huh.
It's Missouri. Like it's in states where you ain't. There's nothing going on.
It's
So
nothing
you
else
gonna be.
going on.
So every game it's packed out.
Uh huh.
Like even so like we would like they beat us by 40, and so like as a kid, like you said, I'm like, well, I gotta get better, because our coaches were like you. They
Yeah.
don't lie,
Yeah.
Like I grew up with blunt, honest coaches.
Yeah.
So first break, we're getting cussed out, coach. We're sitting, and so And look, this the best part because this we talk about challenging your manhood. I promise you, we had women, so Coach Salandra, and we even had Coach Kira. I'm on us, and they're firing us up in front of everybody. So we're I promise you, my first through sixth grade. A lot of times, bro, we had a dude, Chris Winston. He was probably the best player we had up until about seventh grade. He was built like LeBron. He about 6 foot, strong, fast, left hand, quick, had all that. His daddy was the coach. So when his daddy got on him, because he got on everybody, but when his daddy got on him, we kids. He gets the
Yeah.
snot. He gets the big
Yeah.
snot coming down. He crying mid game, shooting a free throw while crying, and we was the same way. Coach ready with IJ ready. He yelling at him. He start. So when they start yelling at me, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm right there with him, coach. I mean, one time, coach, we was up 10. I turned the ball over before halftime. Second grade. It's a regular game. The game got nobody. But I turned the ball over before halftime. We're at the rec center across Arkansas Little Rock. I turned it over. Coach like, why you turn the ball over? Cussing.
Yeah.
He said, forget it. We're gonna run suicides. He said, hey, ref, give us about 10 minutes. It took me 2 minutes at halftime. And Coach Reddy, no, I'm not lying right now. I promise you, we ran about 8 suicides at halftime, coach. And we snotting, crying. He took us to the hallway, cussed us out crazy. Came back out in the second half. The whole team just crying. You would have thought we lost already. We win it. We crying.
Yeah.
We wouldn't come back and win the game, but it just shows you how hard we was coached as kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so by the time I get to where I'm at now, the coaching don't phase me.
Yeah.
It don't. And so even the college coaches I had, they don't phase me because I've been through that since I was, but here, it's just everybody's very baby. And it's like, oh well, shoot, he can make a jumper. I don't want to hit at him for what? It's not gonna help him in the long run. He'll get by here because he's good enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of kids in this area, they go to the school 1-2 semesters right back in the stands. And they 19, 20 years old. Yeah. I used to be nice. And that's what they do. They be in the stands at 19, 20. Damn, I used to be that guy. And that's what they sit there and talk about. It's like, bam, it's not gonna help you. The only thing that's gonna help you is people being bluntly honest. So growing up, all my AAU coaches, that's what they did. All 4 of them. I got to middle school. I had Coach Bohannon at Coach. Blunt honesty, straight up.
Yeah.
No lie.
Yeah.
Coach
Shout out to Coach Bohannon.
Honestly. You know what I'm saying? Coach and Coach Yates and Coach Carl Harris. Coach Yates yelled at me so much people thought he was my daddy. People thought he was my father. No. He's just telling me the truth. You're sorry. You suck today. You're right, Coach. I'll pick it up. Then I'll pick it up. You know what I'm saying? But now we just kind of we run from the truth so much. It's like, for what? You sit here, you running from the truth, and now because you running from the truth, you sit here. Now you're gonna last 80 days in college.
Yeah.
Because there's another you on the board. When they sign you, there's 4 more you right behind you, and you probably wasn't even the first one on the list. So it don't even matter. So it is a different breed, man.
Man, it's. I tell you what, man, it's crazy. Hearing you tell these stories and with great detail how it's impacted your life, as a whole. Right now, at this point here, the picture I'm showing, to me, this felt like this was probably one of the peak points in your life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I watched you play against Purdue. I want to say that wasn't at work. That wasn't at work. That was a night game. It was Northwestern. When Northwestern beat them, I was at work because I graduated from Northwestern State. That was back when Jermaine Wallace hit the shot against them. But for you, during this time frame, when y'all are playing in arenas and y'all are underdogs and people are cheering for you and things like that, man, when you go from airline, going to Little Rock, it almost kind of was like your last resort type of situation, but you went there, and then you get to this point right here. I mean, you probably remember how much time was in the game when you made that shot.
Just about, yeah. Oh man.
Before we close out tonight, man, talk about this time, because right now at this stage, I know you're on the back end. I know you're a father now. You have a family. Basketball is definitely something that you love, but it's definitely in a different place now. For you. When you go back to this point, man, when you're on scholarship at Arkansas Little Rock and you're having you're leading up to this moment. What was that season like? What was that season like? And getting to that point, and then I guess you start to get to the reality of, hey, I'm gonna be a pro now. Like that's the reality starting to hit you. What was that like for you when you think about when you were a 6 year old, coming out of kindergarten, first grade, and then getting to that point?
I mean, it's kind of like full circle. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, the beauty of that moment for me was that what was on my chest is where I started. You know what I mean? And so like I take a lot of pride in where I'm at. And so like Little Rock Airline, Colt, Arkansas Little Rock, every pro team like I take pride in that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's who I am. Like I take pride in making wherever I'm at the place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember 3 years, man. Like we were talented, but we were struggling. You know what I'm saying, coach? Like we, 15, 15, 13, 14, 13 and 16, like 15 and 18. Like we were just a very mediocre team. And, we
Yeah.
had very mediocre off seasons because, like I tell you, like it got to a point where we were just kind of getting through, trying to get
Okay.
by. Hey,
Yeah.
baby. Okay, she came back. I mean, you got it. Take the dog with you, baby. All right, we're good. But yeah, I was saying it was just like 3 years of just kind of losing, and just to be bluntly honest, man, me and my head coach at the time, Steve Shields, like we just didn't see eye to eye on a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things. And
Mm-hmm.
I think the main thing was just like what position I was, because obviously like I was getting a lot of assists at airline, so his mind, like I guess he didn't, I ain't gonna say he didn't think I could score, but he didn't know I could score to the volumes that I could. And so, because I showed that I could score a little bit, he kind of pushed me to the two, which kind of brought me off the bench, which coming off the bench necessarily wasn't a problem. It was just the fact that my minutes were very based on like me making shots and like not bringing any other value to the game. And so,
Right.
like, I spent 3 years leading the team in assists, and I remember me and Coach Shields, like, we would go back and forth a
Okay.
lot upstairs, and a lot of it was just, uh, I felt like he didn't care like he did when I was a kid, because the teams that he was playing, he was coaching with, like the whole team played hard. And there was, you could see the standard, and we all took like dudes just trapping ball screens. It's like 300 pounds. Like, so I'm saying
Yeah.
like I want to play for this type. Like I want to play for a military. Like that's what I grew up in. Like I want to play for a dude that just we do this and that's that.
Right.
And
Right.
I felt like that wasn't the culture when I got there. Even though we were young,
Okay.
I felt like it was very not to say he had favorites. I don't like using that term, but I felt like some dudes could just kind of not play defense, and I felt like some dudes could just kind of do what they want. But for me, like I had to, which I didn't really
Yeah.
care. It was just like, well, I mean, just make it make sense. Like if it's gonna be, you're not gonna coach this one. At least he's got to be good. He's got to be better
Yeah.
than me. But you're not gonna coach me super hard, and then this one ain't as good. But like you're not. It don't make
Uh
sense to me. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Yeah.
like for a lot of that stuff, a lot of it was like we didn't see eye to eye. Like I didn't think I was a two. Like I knew I wasn't a two. I knew for sure I wasn't a small forward.
Yeah.
And like I remember, I was at a point. I was on the team like in the shot, but like I had to chase offensive rebound because I was athletic, and I was
Yeah.
like, man, I'm 6 feet. Like that's not gonna work for me where I'm
Yeah.
trying to, you know what I'm saying? So we kind of got to a point where, like he didn't like want me to transfer, but he was like, man, if you transfer, it's not gonna be the end of the world. So it's kind of,
Wow.
you know. And so ended up happening was, I think we lost that last game in conference my junior year. They let him go. They brought in Beard, and then with Beard, like we had a conversation day one. He was like, all right, you trying to go somewhere? Because I'm gonna need you here. I was like, said, well, what are we doing here? Like, I can't spend my last year trying to get you to rebuild. I don't have time. I don't have
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And so he was like, no, we're going to win right now. And I looked him in his eyes. He looked me in my eyes. Like, you mean business? He was
Uh
like, yeah. So, I mean, I remember he went and got, he went and got 7 dudes that we wasn't supposed to get them dudes, bro. Like, I ain't, like, it shows you, like, we got a lot of dudes we was just not supposed to get. And so I'm
really?
like, and so like for all the dudes that we got, like I hosted all their visits and I stayed over the summers, and like I hosted. I was pretty much the only one that was like social on our team anyway. It's like
Yeah.
I hosted all the visits, all 7 of them,
Yeah.
and each dude, I'm like, dang, bro, you got like Georgia Tech on your list. Like, how you end up? You got Texas Tech. Like, how you? oh, this dude from Wake Forest, where you and put the team
Wow.
together. And I remember I watched we played pickup, and our pickup for the last 3 years have been kind of regular, like very
Okay.
very
Okay.
normal. And
Okay.
we got these guys. We played. I'm like, oh, hold on. I ain't seen no big. They got a little snatch. I ain't seen the big with the jumper
Ah.
like that. And I'm like, oh,
Okay.
okay, we got a 6'6" guy. We don't normally got those. Those guys normally play the 5 for us. So I'm like, hold on. So this is different. So I remember talking to the guys in the off season. And I was like, bro, like, listen, please, I got 1 year. So this how it's gonna go. Every day we're gonna give it everything you have. It's simple because our off seasons have been trash or our seasons have been trash. So
Right.
essentially, if our off season is amazing, we're gonna have an amazing year. And
Hmm.
some guys fought it a little bit at first, but we got to a point in time where every day was just like everybody was locked in. Like, wasn't no fight
Okay.
about it. If there's a
Okay.
time you missed, we all ran it back with the dude together. And like from that point on, bro, we was 30. We won 29 games before we got to the tournament. 29.
Man,
And I hadn't even sniffed 20 wins in 3 years. And so
that's
like by the time we
crazy.
got to the tournament, bro, it was just like, well, shoot, it's destiny, bro. Like the way our team was designed, we were designed to guard teams that couldn't shoot. Like
Yeah.
we were built for that. As little
Yeah.
as we were, coach, we
Yeah.
built pack line. Like you did not touch the paint. You didn't touch
Chris
the paint
Book,
on us.
man. Chris
You,
Beal defense ain't no joke.
no, and that's how like people thought we was full court pressing. No, it wasn't that. We picked up a half. It was regular. We trapped sometimes, but we picked up a half. Pick up roll screens, very regular, nothing
Yeah.
special. But
Yeah.
you just did, and our whole team bought in. And so when you got 8 guys that can be all conference on the same team buying in, you put up 40 points on us. Now, how we score that night depended on the team. And I told guys the same. Like we got some nights it's gonna be you, some nights it's gonna be me, some nights it's gonna I don't know. But if you buy in, it don't matter. Because if we hold a team to 40, all we need is 41. And most times we putting up 60, 65, 70. And we were putting them up. Like we was zipping people up, coach. And so we got to the tournament. And I remember when they did the bracket, bro, I was like, please, just anywhere for Denver, because I knew about the air, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
watching the
Yeah.
bracket,
Yeah.
and we knew we was gonna get a 12 seed. Last 12 seed was in like, I don't even remember, but I knew the last spot was Denver. I was like, so, we did the selection show. They yeah, 12 seed Arkansas, Rock's gonna play Purdue. Everybody get up. I'm like, clapping up anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, we finna die. And so like we end up game planning, end up beating them. But yeah, I mean that moment for me, man, just man, it was special, bro. Like I cried a lot that night, man, because it was just like for me, man, like I was very overlooked as a child in that city. And so for me to be the hero, even for just like a weekend, and everybody kind of look at me instead of looking at Bobby, instead of looking at Daryl, instead of looking at Dusty, who's at bigger schools and better programs, man. Like, bro, it was something that I got for me. Like I'll never forget, man. It was special. I think give me a second. I think the no. Oh, Lord. 1 second, bro. I don't even know what to do. Give me. Hold on. Let me see. AirPods? Do you have some? Give me. All right, bro. Hold on. I think I got you. Let me see.
see. There we go.
Lord, baby girl.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right, here we go. Here we go.
Whew, boy.
All right. We clear now. We good.
Okay.
All right, here we go. But yeah, man, I just for you to stay at that school for 3 years and you've been a winner pretty much your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, what made you hang on? Because like I said, right now, we live in an era where transferring that's just the norm now. That's why even myself, I feel like I want to go to the next level. I believe the opportunity to go to the next level, and coach is there for me. For me, some things, right now, I'm cool with being home. My son is young, so I got a little time.
Right.
But how is it? Like what made you stay, man? How was those conversations with your parents and your siblings when it came down to you staying in that situation when it was just no energy, no pride, just getting, losing three straight years. Like what made you hang on, man?
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, it's just like, I mean, even the airline people try to get me to transfer, just like religiously, and
Yeah.
like I always believed in just figuring it out. You know what I mean? Like even with AAU, I didn't really start team jumping. I wouldn't even say I team jumping. I played with two teams in one summer.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been kind of with whoever I was with, and
Yeah.
airline they try to get me to go places. Just didn't feel the need to, wasn't going
Yeah.
to. And so
Yeah.
even at Little Rock, it was just like even if he was trying to rebuild, it was going to be hard for me to transfer. One because it was home, like
Yeah.
because I'm in that era where it's like it's not NIL, so like
Yeah.
money, food, all that stuff is hard to come by.
Yeah.
And for me, like I had AAU coaches that would feed me, and I would have my godmom, Miss Jackie, who would bring the groceries and
Yeah.
to
That's
kind of help
good.
me skate by because it was a struggle. And so
Yeah.
like I didn't want to leave in the first place. Like, I was hoping he's saying we can rebuild, but at that point in time, bro, like I said, like it's my home. Like this is here.
Yeah.
So if I can make something amazing happen, I don't want to do it with a city that I'm not, from. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to
Yeah.
put no offense, like a Rhode Island or like I'm not from. It don't mean the same for me. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, like
Yeah.
the other guys on the team, like I get it for them because like they're not from here. So like a
Yeah.
lot of them left because they don't really have ties. But for me, like I went to that camp at Arkansas Little Rock like 12 times, and I have like a
Uh huh.
million trophies from Arkansas Little Rock's camps as a kid. So like it's
Yeah.
got a different value to me than it did to other
Yeah.
people. So I just want to stick around and just try to figure it out.
Yeah. That's cool, man. It
Yeah.
says, but like I said, it says a lot about you as a person. Perseverance, man, and resilience. There's just those are just things we say that stuff loosely, but we don't know what it really means. I feel like
Right.
you embody that. I feel like you one of the few guys that really embodies that. Because even something as simple as every summer when the season's over, you come back home and you give back to Airline Boys basketball. Like your time, your energy. Like you don't have to do that, and nobody else is doing that. Not what you've done for the last 12 years. Nobody's doing that, man. And it says a whole lot about you as a person. And I really and truly hope that the time that you spend at home, that is touching somebody to
Right.
to want to dig deeper because, you know, being a professional athlete, man, it's a lot of for some people. I don't know if I can say it changes them, but they do just go on with their life. They
Yeah.
just go on. I mean, and there's no disrespect or no knock to anybody else because everybody can do what they want to, but your choices, your level of loyalty, man, is something real, bro. It's real, and
Yeah.
I'm glad I got a chance to get to know you better over the last 4 years through that interaction. Because I always respected you, but to get a chance to hear you speak and to watch you work, man, it says a whole lot, man. And even have an opportunity to sit here and talk to you tonight. I hit you up like, man, let's chop it up, and you was ready to jump on it and go, man, and I appreciate that. But man, I know you got another assignment this year. I know
Yeah.
you got a little time. Uh, so tell the people, man, where you playing at this year? Where you heading out this year, and when are you leaving?
So I'm going to a team called Carabnos. I was there about 4 years ago.
Mm,
That's probably the only team overseas I spent 2 years with.
okay.
It's in Cyprus. It's an island off Greece. They're a powerhouse in Cyprus in the domestic league. Like it's typically them and Ikonica that are in the championship over there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to win a couple championships while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And now, kind of the goal is what can we do in international play. So like we're in
Okay.
this what we call the Champions League qualifiers. So
Okay.
Europe has four stages. There's Euro League, there's Euro Cup, there's Champions League, and then there's FIBA Euro Cup. It's four
Okay.
different things. And so
Okay.
like we're in the Champions League qualifier. We can get there. We'll get into the groups, and we'll try to see what we can do with those teams with bigger budgets and bigger names or whatever.
Yeah.
But with that group, man, like it was a good experience for me. Like I had a coach, Coach Lebas, that essentially kind of taught me the European game
Mm-hmm.
to a T, and I had really great vets, Anthony King, Mohamed Akbar, that taught me a lot about what it takes to make it as a guard in Europe, and so it kind
Yeah.
of got me out of my angry ways because I think those first 2 years I was in the G League, I really wasn't playing much. I was kind of angry, and kind of just settled me down and just taught me like, okay, this is what it takes. This is gonna be. It's gonna be this, that, this, and you gotta be able to do all that.
That's cool.
I owe a lot of my success to those three guys in particular, especially in Europe. So I'm kind of repaying them, and they were paying me as well with another chance. And so it's a great reunion. I'm looking forward to it.
Talk to before we go. I want you to give your message to coaches at the middle and high school level, and they're talking, and you're talking to them as if they're coaching your son or your daughter. And I want you to share with coaches what from your perspective and what you've seen. What is our job as coaches right now to help prepare the young people that we investing in right now? And I know that's a little different. I had to
Yeah.
think about it for a second. But I want you to talk to coaches. What are we supposed to be doing? What should be our priority, and how should we be handling our young people that
Uh,
are trying to make it?
so the main thing for me is preparation. Um,
Okay.
I think a lot of times, obviously, like it's sports, it's competitive. We want to win, but we lose sight of what matters um, in that. So, like, I don't want my child's peak, not necessarily athletically, but in life, to be a state title or to be all state. Would I like her to have that? Sure, absolutely. But I need her to be prepared for what's next, whether it's academically, athletically, or in life. And so, my thing is, I need blunt honesty.
Okay.
I need blunt honesty because for me in my career, nothing is possible if it's not blunt honesty from the time I'm 6 years old to the time I'm 30. It's
Yeah.
not possible. If
Yeah.
somebody would have sit there and say, "Oh, Josh, man, you next, use this, use that," which some people did, but I already heard the honest. I got honesty first, so
Yeah.
I can filter that out.
Yeah.
But for me and my kid, I need the truth.
Yeah.
If if I don't teach my daughter how to play basketball from ages 5 to 14, and she's not good at 15, don't tell her she's good at 15.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tell
Yeah.
her there's stuff she needs to improve on while encouraging her at the same time. But let her know, hey, reality is this is where you're at. Because there's so many kids that are lost in where they are. They're
Yeah.
not where they think they are. For me, I was good because I understood the game.
Yeah.
I understood it to a T. And the only
Yeah.
reason I understood it is because I saw kids that were way better than me when I was a kid. I saw
Yeah.
kids that were way worse. I saw
Yeah.
kids that were just as talented. I've seen every. So I knew no matter how good I thought I was, there were still a ways to go.
Right.
And with a lot of these kids, like they're the best one on their high school team, which is okay. It's not a bad thing. but we think that's it. So like,
Right.
if I were to think that me being the best at airline was going to get me to Division One, I'm lying to myself because there's been a lot of kids that have been the best player in airline high school but didn't go to school at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, it's just like, schemes and defense and matters. Don't get me wrong, it matters.
Yeah.
X's and O's matter. But if you tell kids the truth,
Yeah.
tell it for what it is.
Yeah.
Let them do what they want with that information, but don't lie to a kid, especially a kid that has a chance to go to the next level, and then he gets to the next level, and he's not what he thinks he is, and now he's in shell shock at 18, and he's gonna get cut because he's not prepared. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And so like that's my main thing. Like, just please, bro, like stop, like hype. There's a difference between like building a kid up and encouraging he's gonna be good and just like hyping him for no reason. Because now I have to try to like get him to humble himself to work hard when there's already kids in other cities and other states that already work hard that are already there.
Yeah.
And you're making it impossible for kids to catch up. So like the reason our city is behind is not because kids ain't talented. Kids can hoop. But the mentalities of kids in this city from my era up, I'm not gonna speak before. From my era up, it's the way kids think. It's just not. It's not
Yeah.
there. And so like we think, oh yeah, I'm the best in the city. I was all district. There's 4 teams in the district. I would hope that you know what I'm saying. Like so like, oh yeah, Josh was all district. I mean, it's cool, but for us, we played 6 games in the district my last year. It just doesn't hold the same weight. So like we got to make stuff that actually matters matter. And so like winning the game, yes, I want the kid to win the game. But if I'm in spar and I'm teaching my best player to just shoot it every time, I'm putting him at a disadvantage. Not learning how to play, just learn how to shoot.
Yeah.
When he gets to high school, he don't know how to play the game, and then like, oh shoot, he's just getting double teamed. Why is he still shoot? He don't know what else to do because for 15 years, all he knows is I'm shoot. And we've seen kids like that, bro, and they fizzle out. So I'm just tired of kids that have games fizzle out, bro. Like, we have too many guys that can play, but we're not teaching them how to play. So that's
yeah. That's when you say how to play. And I know I'm about to let you go here. What does that mean? How to play? What does that entail?
I mean, you have to be able to make reads, man. Like, and not just from passes. Like, people think making reads is just like throwing a skip pass or no. Nah, bro. Like, what is the defense doing?
Right.
Like, for me, like I understood in high school, even in 9th grade, we don't teach a lot of ball screen coverages in OG shoot play. We don't. We just say, hey, call the screen out, and then we'll figure it out from there. So a lot of kids were like, we with us, we ran power. Everybody ran power. Like, we ran power, and like they were guarded one way and it was very wrong. But like we would miss one time, and we miss one time, and then the coach would say, "Oh, good defense." I was like, "Okay, yeah, watch it." I was like, "All right, heard you, respect." All right, so we come back down, same play, figure it out, maybe a little pocket pass right here. Okay, you got to jump in and get the pocket pass from the corner. I was like, "You said that out loud?" Okay, got it. All right, let's give it to the corner. You got to be out there. Okay, now I'm back to the pocket pass. Like, it's just like we don't. If kids don't see the defense for what it is, and we're just kind of playing and just hoping instincts, like no, like if you watch film, it'll tell you what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It'll tell you what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so like I would go into the game knowing that Boulder was gonna guard it like this. Red River was gonna guard it like that. And Soccer was gonna guard it like this. And Green Oaks, like I knew. So it wasn't like a surprise. It was just it's film. Because like, we're not gonna sit here and teach. Okay, we're gonna hedge, and then we're gonna be in a drop, and then we're gonna ice. Like we don't teach that. It's one way. So like a lot of these kids, man, like I even talked to a few kids from Hartwork. Not like bro, like hey you, it's everybody just rah trap the ball rah. So any ball screen, just gonna trap it. Don't try to dribble through a trap. Pick it up, hit your big on the roll. He's got a 3-on-4 on the weak side. If you hit that big 3 times, they're gonna stop doing it.
Right.
They're gonna be yelling. They're like, oh, we ain't playing. Well, no, you're just trying to trap the ball. It's not really defense. You're just yelling a lot.
Right.
You're trapping, and then you're on you as a coach, you're on the sideline. Like that's not gonna work against me. Right? Like,
I'll take my one compliment. And you said that when you played against us, my first year at Falpo, that we made you think a little bit.
No, I mean for sure, because like I that's fair.
I take great pride. I take great pride in that. I take great pride in it.
Listen, because like I promise you, coach, like I never forget it, bro. Like I came in a little late, but like I seen y'all, I'm like, bro, y'all whole team is 5'6". Like I look at that like, coach, like what are we doing? Like are we playing a JV? Like who is it? And it's Lil D in there, like you know what I'm saying? Like I remember we jump tip, I get the ball, I'm like, all right, here we go. Let's get this over. We got an hour and a half. We cool. Coach, y'all put real. It was real heat. It was hot. It was hot. It was hot, bro. I'm talking about like Lil D picking up food. I try to drive middle. Gaps. It's there. Even if I tried to split it the first time, still went the other way. And so I'm like, hold on, like everywhere I go, like he's there. And then
Yeah.
there's like three more. There's three more midgets like right there. And then like the big is like 5'9", and we still couldn't get it to Ramel. Who I'm like, whoa, hold on. So I called coach called time. I was like, hey, hold on. Hey, we gotta press him or something. Like, like it's not giving what it's supposed to give right now, bro. Like
Yeah.
I really
Yeah. Yeah, man. That was great fun. It really was, man. But man, our conversations, me and we talk all the time. So, but I appreciate you taking the time to share, a little bit about yourself and your story, man. You are one of the legends here, bro. I mean, I know you kind of got dual hometowns, Little Rock and here, but you one of the legends here. Much respect to you, man. Praying for you that this trip that you're taking this year, that man, you go over there and win and make your money and get back home safe to your family. It's love here, bro. And I thank you for taking out the time, man, and sharing with us, man. For those of y'all that's out here watching, who've taken the time out, we appreciate you tuning into the show. Thank you so much. Grateful for you. Remember to go over to YouTube to subscribe on YouTube. Even though I'm broadcasting on Facebook, I'm building that platform over there on YouTube, man. So I definitely appreciate you. And until next time, it won't be too long. We'll be
man,
back
this
at
is
it.
fun
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. So, all right, man, we appreciate your audience, man. We'll get back with y'all at a later time.
for sure. Appreciate
Outside
it.
the
Bring it
X's and
back for
O's
real.
in Hamilton. Yes, sir.